George Corpse, Hunter Fisher, Cannibal Corpse, and you're watching Rock and Metal News.
Hey guys, this is Ron from YouTube's Rock and Metal News with a Rock and Metal News CD review of the new Revocation. The album is called Great Is Our Sin. It's out through Metal Blade Records on July 22nd, 2016. The new album, Great Is Our Sin, is definitely their most dynamic and boundary-pushing release to date. Vocalist guitarist Dave Davidson stated, "Thinking critically about my own style and being self-motivated has had a very strong impact on me as a musician and songwriter. We try not to think too much about extraneous forces when we're writing, so we can focus on creating music for ourselves first and foremost." The band is rounded out by guitarist Dan, bassist Brett, and recently recruited drummer Ash, formerly of 3 Inches of Blood. And what an amazing drummer Ash is, I'll tell you. He is all over this album. And never forcing anything, the songs that make up Great Is Our Sin come together organically, and while the members are located all around North America, this did not hamper Revocation as they drew strength from it. Dave said, "Writing comes pretty naturally for us, but logistics are more of an issue since everyone lives in different places. Ash would fly in from Vancouver and he and I would jam together at our practice space in Boston. We didn't have the luxury of getting together to jam whenever we felt like it, but in a way I think it's actually made us more focused since we had to make the most of our time together and not procrastinate." The band hooked up with producer Zeuss, who also helmed Deathless and Teratogenesis' EP. Known for their technical abilities, the band remained dedicated to pushing forward without ever losing sight of the importance of good songwriting. And man, I just love the song structures on this album. I think the songwriting is just amazing on this. The full album, all the songs have their own unique little twist and turn. The track Arbiters of the Apocalypse blends together breakneck thrash, crunching death metal, and unforced melodies. They bring in much technical diversity on some of the tracks, such as Communion and Copernican Heresy, which are as savage as the band has ever sounded. The first track, Arbiters of the Apocalypse, opens up with a fast, relentless riff and kicks off just amazingly. And the way that Dave sings parts of this track bring me back almost to some of the old school thrash. I really, really like this track. Track number 4, Crumbling, Imperium. That has such a killer bass riff in it. Just weaves in and out of the guitar, joining the guitar riff when needed just to add a extra punch. And I love the tremolo guitar parts in this song. The solo is just magical as well. It's got a bluesy feel, it's got a shredding, and it's got just some great melody. They bring the song down as well about 4 minutes in with some clean picking, then build the tension up again to a feverish pitch. Just love that. And guest Marty Friedman, he contributes a solo on track number 6. The song is called The Exultation, which electrifies the song. I mean, Dave commented about Marty. He said, "Marty has always been a huge influence on me and is someone I really respect. His solo on The Exultation has all the elements that I love in his playing, especially the element of surprise." Regarding the title of the album had inspiration from Charles Darwin's quote, "If the misery of the poor be caused not by the laws of nature, but by our institutions, great is our sin." Dave stated the concept revolves around the folly of man throughout the ages. Some themes come from historical references that are hundreds of years old, yet sadly these themes are still very relevant today due to mankind's refusal to learn from the lessons history has taught us time and time again. Some song topics covered on the album are political corruption, the buying and selling of lawmakers, such as on the track Only the Spineless Survive, and track 2, Theater of Horror, reflects on the place of public execution in medieval times and the manner in which it was supposed to shock and entertain the populace. The topic of climate change is also explored on the album, such as in the songs Cleaving the Ice Giants and Monolithic Ignorance. They seem to be regarding you can really hear the anger and aggression in Dave's voice when he's singing on these tracks. The chord choices in track number 7, Profanum Vulgus, are very appropriate for the song, and Ash adds some interesting drum parts, which allows the chords to do their work. The solo fits in just perfect over the chords as well, and just jumps out at you. Just the tones they use for the chords and the tone for the solo, it just really just springs out of the song, and it's an amazing solo. There's so many great guitar parts on this album, just as Revocation is known for. And at the 2-minute mark of this track, they take you on another journey. It's almost splits the song almost in two, and Ash adds some incredible ride cymbal work that adds just enhances the heavy beat that he puts on. So Dave concluded, "We can't wait to bring these songs out on the road and perform them for different audiences all over the world. Great Is Our Sin is a new chapter for the band, and collectively we feel that it is our defining record to date." And I will agree with that. I really enjoyed this album. There is so much interesting parts on it, and I think they do explore some great different vocal phrasing and different vocal tones on the album, and there's some great melody and just amazing guitar work. The musicianship all across the board is just great. Ash really does contribute some great drumming to this, and just really love it. So pick up the new Revocation, Great Is Our Sin, out July 22nd through Metal Blade Records. You will not be disappointed. This is Ron from YouTube's Rock and Metal News. Thanks for tuning in.